Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Taurus and Scorpio on Tuesdays. Also, I do just want to let you guys know that the deck that I'm using today is called the Morgan Greer Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. So with that being said, I do just want to give you guys the heads up that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually only take cards that jump out of the deck, like these ones have. And my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to try to pull out 5 or 6 more cards, and then we can get started. I'm going to go ahead and take those 3 cards. All right, Taurus. So, before we get started, I do just want to remind you guys very quickly that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is a very wonderful energy to be in sometimes, but it can also just mean like past energy, right? So often when I tend to look at this card in relation to love questions, I know that there is sort of this energy of like feeling like you're falling in love for the first time, right? There's this feeling of nostalgia. There's this feeling of the past. So right off the bat, I'm getting that the past is playing a big role in the way that you are deciding what you want to do and basically what your actions in the present are, right? Because I'm getting here that there's a lot of influence that you're receiving from old patterns, and it may not even just be you, it might also be the people around you as well. I'm feeling like people are going to fall into sort of their old patterns right now. I'm getting that there is a number of people in the situation that you have a lot of history with, right? Some figures that have been kind of anchored in your life for the past couple of years, or however long a long time looks like for you, right? So for some people that might be a couple months, and for some people that might be multiple years. But either way, I'm seeing that there is sort of this air of finality to this situation, right? Because this is sort of the past. This is lingering energy. And then we have the World card, which is a beginning, or rather an ending, right? But as we look at the tarot, we come to realize that all endings are just beginnings, and all beginnings are just endings that have been packaged differently, right? So the World card is the final major arcana. So it brings the major arcana to an end, and then it begins anew with the Fool card, right? So the cycle begins anew. And so I'm getting here that you guys are really starting to take advantage of that finality, right? And I'm getting almost like the question, what would you do? Like, if you could do everything over again, what would you do differently, right? I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. But at the same time, I feel like even though you're ending this cycle, there's sort of this energy of leaving something behind. I think that for a lot of you guys, you've had something like your eyes on the prize for a little while, And then it kind of comes to the point where you realize, hey, I don't think this is something that I can do, or at least do right now. I kind of need to leave this by the wayside for a little bit and work on other things in order to come back to this perhaps in a different cycle, right? I'm getting a lot of cycle energy, right? Very cyclical. You guys need to look at what it is that repeats in your life, the patterns, maybe in your family life, across generations, anything of this energy, I feel like is coming here so that you can karmically close out a lot of loose ends that you may have. So I also see the Ten of Wands here with the Judgment in reverse. So the Judgment can mean a lot of things. I feel like for a very small group of you, the Judgment is a literal judgment in the sense that you're going to court to see what a judgment is. But notice that it's in reverse. There may be a delay in your judgment. I know that as the time of me recording this, we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic. So a lot of places such as courthouses have been closed down. So that might be a delay for your kind of judgment. But if you're not looking at it in a legal sense and you're looking at it sort of in a social sense, this feels like something that hasn't taken place. And I don't think it's taken place for a long time, right? Because we have sort of this energy of cycles in the past. And I feel like the fact that this hasn't taken place has hurt you. And I'm also getting that, that's group one, sort of this energy that's being hurt by the fact that this judgment is not taking place. And then there's group two, where there was a judgment in the past, because the Judgment card can also mean second chances. So this is like somebody who's waiting on a second chance because the prior judgment here has led to this sort of Ten of Swords energy where you're hurt and devastated, right? An appeal of sorts. So it's very interesting that we have here the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So I do want to mention that the King of Swords can be a lawyer or a judge. So for some of you guys, that might be relevant. And then the King of Pentacles is representative of earth signs, such as yourselves. So that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And then you have the air signs with the King of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So I'm getting it for some of you guys. Definitely, there's sort of these competing energies. I feel like with this air sign energy, they're a little bit more put together here in this situation than this King of Pentacles. It feels like this King of Pentacles is all over the place, right? And this may very well be you. There's this energy of not feeling the kind of stability that you would want, or rather, this King of Pentacles not feeling the stability that they would want, but it feels like that's not necessarily their own fault, right? And I'm just going to use this COVID scenario again to sort of illustrate what this could look like, right? So currently, you could have had everything put together, nice job, nice car, fully stacked fridge and whatever supplies, but then when something completely unforeseen like this happens, you end up in a scenario where a lot of people get laid off, a lot of people temporarily lose their job, and you are no longer as stable as you had been in the past. So I feel like there's this King of Pentacles feels this energy of working so hard for something and then just to have it taken away, whereas you have this King of Swords who maybe invested in different areas, right? A more mental area as opposed to like a physical area, and they're not as harshly affected, right? So this might be a person that works online, has their job through the internet, anything like that, can work from home or remotely, something like that. Also, I'm looking at the clock as I'm recording this, and it striked 11:11. So I think that for a lot of you guys, you might be seeing a lot in the realms of the people in your life. I feel like the situation is going to improve all around, but right now there's sort of that difficulty. I also see this moon in reverse. So I do want to mention really quickly, now that we're talking about the last major arcana, the star card can be representative of Aquarius, whereas the moon card represents Pisces. But I'm getting for sure that a lot of you guys are seeing something come to light, right? Because the moon card represents secrets, illusions, things that aren't necessarily on the top per se, like things that are deep within your psyche. But when they are in reverse, when the moon card is in reverse, I should say, it feels like things are coming to light and things are starting to make sense, which I think is a really good energy for you guys right now. And with this Five of Pentacles here, I feel like you guys, because it's in reverse, are coming out of the cold. And because this new information is made privy to you, you're going to be able to come back and see a lot more of the stability that you may have seen in the past, right? And I know I'm kind of like going back and forth whether or not this King of Pentacles energy is you or not, but I feel like regardless of if this represents you or maybe another person, some of the energies that this King of Pentacles is in overlap with the energies that you're finding yourself in. So either way, I feel like you're sharing in the struggle with this, and you're really trying to get over sort of all this negative energy here with the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, even though it's in the reverse. And I see you coming out of it, because regardless of what all this is, I'm seeing some clarity coming in with the Moon card, and I'm seeing the beginning of a new cycle here with the World card. But my advice to you guys would be rest assured that better days are coming. You just gotta sort of buckle down and wait for them to come. But either way, that was your reading first time around, Taurus. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Taurus on Tuesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.